What's up, guys? I want to make a little video telling you guys about this awning I got off Amazon. So the camper is a 2009 Fun Finder XT200. When we got it, the fabric on the awning was in pretty rough shape. We used it 3 or 4 times and it ripped. And we just actually left it ripped for a few years because of the daunting task we thought it would be to change out the fabric. Finally ended up finding this fabric, which is called RecPro from Amazon. $120 for the fabric. I was like, well, that's not bad. I'll just give it a try. If you've never done it before, expect it to be a bit of a task. I recommend 2 people. I mean, you need 2 people at least. If you can have 3 or 4 people, it'll make the job a little bit easier, keeping everything stabilized and straight and holding it. It doesn't seem like this RecPro vinyl is super cheap, but I could tell it's maybe not as thick as the original, or maybe not the best quality out there. But for 120 bucks, it's kind of hard to beat. One thing that you need to know from the very beginning is you don't measure, when you're replacing your awning, you don't measure your old fabric. You measure the actual, the roller. You measure that, and you'll order it by that, and the fabric you get will be smaller. So the fabric they had on here before was actually the wrong size. It was a few more inches in that side and that side. It was actually a little too small. So we ordered the right stuff, so we have a little bigger awning. But because of that, we had to change up where our set screws were and our track and things like that. So as far as tools you need, I would have some like some gutter seal or some white silicone on hand, because you're gonna have to take some screws out of some places. I had to remove this little gutter drain right here so that I could slide the siding out and such. And then another problem I ran into was when we were pulling on this a little bit, these screws ended up completely pulling out. They were just old, rusty, you know, the camper's 15 years old. So we found some bigger lag screws, put some silicone on them, put those back in. Besides that, we really didn't run into any trouble besides the locking mechanism right there. I think it's where it's set for 4 or 5 years, and we haven't used the awning. It was kind of frozen and stuck. So we just kind of worked it back and forth, put some lube and stuff on it, and it seems to be working okay. You're also going to need some vice grips, and you also need to know how to use those vice grips, because those vice grips are going to have to bite on that shaft, and that's what you will use to wind that spring. You'll count your winds. There's all kinds of videos out on that, but you know, it sounds daunting if you haven't done it before, but it's doable. Watch the videos, take your time. You also have to drill out 3 rivets right there on that cap, and that's how you take that white cap off. So you'll want some replacement rivets. Ours were 3/8, I think, and you need a rivet gun, and you need to make sure that the rivets work in that rivet gun. As far as some data, it took me and one other male about 2 hours to do this, and neither one of us had ever done it before. So we think now that we know the process, it could probably be done in an hour. But set yourself aside, you know, 3 or 4 hours just in case you would run into any trouble. So we're gonna use this thing, and I'll come back in some months and, you know, maybe years, and update YouTube and let you guys know how long this $120 fabric lasts. It's got like a gray to white gradient fade on it, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna put some pictures up here of it as I'm talking for you guys to see it unwound and everything. And I'll also put the link to this down below in Amazon, so you guys can check out the RecPro awnings. Any questions, leave them down in the comments, and have a good day. Happy camping.